Going on, family? You're tuned in to Real Last Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. Don't be shocked, don't be alarmed. I know you don't hear James John's voice. James is out here right now being a very good father. His kid graduated from college, so he decided to spend the weekend with his kids. James is an amazing dad, and so he's all his kids going to college, nursing school, whatever. One of them is dropping bombs on Baghdad, like just good kids doing the right thing for this country, bro. Is what we're saying. But join the virtual studio of my comedy brothers. I'm gonna start with the man who helped get this thing started, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. I just got back. I was telling Jeff I went to the Fashion Square Mall today to watch a movie with my homeboy Chris. We went and saw Sinners, and in the Fashion Square Mall, it's completely empty. It's completely empty, except for like the movie theater. There's like one or two other stores, but all the escalators are broken, and the elevators
Yeah.
broken, and there's signs on all the escalators that say, do not use broken. And I go with the old joke: an escalator can't broke, it breaks, it just becomes stairs.
Yeah.
And so they want you to go all the way through the parking
Yep.
garage up to the third floor. And there was a sign there. They're like, if you use these stairs, you will be trespassed. I said, there ain't one goddamn person here. Like, there's no one.
Yeah, there's no
It's like that.
security.
It's like that
I don't
Halloween
know.
candy says, please take one. Who's
Yeah.
enforcing this?
Yeah.
Who's enforcing this?
They ain't no
I
ring
walked-
camera watching those stairs.
I walked right up the stairs with me and my boy Chris, and we didn't break anything. Like, we weren't going to break. I was like, no, we're not going to destroy anything. We're not going to break because they had stuff zip tied. I just went over it and went under it on the other part. But I saw the people at the movie theater, and they were like nodding their head, like, God damn, thank you. Because they must be losing people left and right to come see a movie who are like,
Yeah.
and then you get up there, and it's like, hey, you got to walk like a quarter mile to get up this hot ass mall. Mall is set at 82 degrees. Air conditioning there's at 82
it's Africa in
degrees.
that mall.
Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, y'all really trying to make me not. You lucky, Ryan Coogler. You lucky I really wanted to see this because
Yeah.
it was nuts. Then I started thinking too, you really think they could do that? Like they can have no fire escapes at all possible? Like can't use the stairs, can't use the elevator, can't use the escalator. Kaufman, what's the legally? Can I say no? I have to use these escalators. It's a fire hazard if you block them off. What's my
Well, you can't
legality?
use the elevator and you can't use escalators anyway during a fire. So there has to be some stairs somewhere. There has
They
to
got
be
a
some
fast
fire
road.
escape stairs somewhere. And I bet they're in the theater.
I'm gonna tell them to get a
Yeah.
blob and put it
Yeah.
down the floor. Like,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah. What's that thing when you jump off a building and the firefighters hold it at the
yeah,
bottom?
the trampoline.
Yo, oh man. Did you enjoy the movie?
Movie was great, man. I've heard it referred to as Dust Till Dawn meets Django, and I stand by that. It's a great, fun movie. It's a good time. It's a good time movie, man. I really enjoyed it.
Cool,
Shout out to
cool.
Haley Steinfeld, man. Haley Steinfeld, Michael B. Jordan.
But we're booing the old Asian woman though. Ken
Oh
and I
yeah,
are,
yeah, yeah,
Ken
yeah.
and I are not
But to
happy
this
with the
day,
old Asian
bro.
woman.
Now that you saw it, Miguel, now you know. To this day, son.
Yeah, listen, man, listen. I think that was me and my boy Chris were talking about it. I feel like in the writers' room, like 50 times, they were trying to figure out how to make this happen, and they couldn't. And they were like,
Yeah.
"All right, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this line. It ain't gonna really make anybody happy. It's not gonna match up with the rest of this, but we've tossed around 50 ideas.
There's always
on how
somebody
to
dumb in the
make
movie.
this
There's always
catalyst."
somebody dumb. It's normally a kid. In all horror movies, it's always the kid who does dumb stuff and gets other people killed. But yeah, in this case, it was the old Asian. So yeah.
I thought about it too, man. If you guys haven't seen Sinners, that movie takes place in the Mississippi Delta in 1932. Everybody's wearing long sleeves, cotton wool. That would have been the stankest,
Oh,
yeah.
stankest.
What was the line? We're
honky-tonk.
gonna dance till we dance till we stink or something.
They
like
even,
that?
they even make way to it at one point when the dude's about to
Yeah.
get intimate with the girl. And she's like, "You gotta let me wash. I just walked." And I was like, "Still." He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do this." I'm like, "Player, player."
Oh.
And he went and did the thing you don't want to do when somebody says that they're all loosey goosey or stank on you. He was like, "Nah, girl, I'm about to eat the peach." I was like, brother, she's a sharecropper.
Oh,
She been in the
yeah.
field all day wearing a wool dress.
Dog,
Bro.
it's funny because I actually missed that part. I had to go to the bathroom. You know, I got a bladder of a 6-month-old. So I was in the bathroom. So everybody was talking about that part. My wife was like, "Yeah, you was in the bathroom, so you missed that
You
part."
missed it.
Yeah,
You missed
man.
it. Hey, man, listen. Everybody makes a mistake with love, but if she's a sharecropper in 1932 Mississippi Delta, and it's 965 degrees, and they don't have antiperspirant, and you dancing all night in a honky tonk sweating. This ain't the time to go down, brother. Save that for a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, we took
Hey.
it at the same theater. We took 900 people.
Yeah,
on Thursday.
I'm about to bring it up now. The other voice you hear
Yeah.
from the Law Officer Kaufman and Lynn and the Under Oath podcast. When you need us.com, Mr. Jeff Batman Kaufman. Jeff took 900 people. And that's 900. Now almost 1,000 people to go see the Thunderbolts. How was it, brother?
Oof, good movie. But here's the thing: when you think it's hot in the when you walk in. The only place that's not hot is in the actual theater itself.
Yeah, the movie theater's a honky tonk too.
So I'm camped out there in full Winter Soldier outfit with the plastic silver arm. You know, there was more sweat at the. I could have drained it. You know, Survivor tool I could have used for water. It was hot, man. But we had a good time. The movie was solid. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And the after credits, woo, best after credits Marvel ever came up with. So yeah, setting the whole universe, which is real good.
That's dope. That's dope. Jeff was sweating that movie theater popcorn butter. Jeff had popcorn butter coming out the fake arm, bro.
Hey, when you make it to the Fashion Square Mall theater, when you actually get into the theater, it's like you climbed a mountain in the Hindu Kush, and they're like, we've been waiting for you. You know, like the people who work there don't get to leave. That's where they live. Everybody does like a 90-day tour. They're like, hey, they pull you out the fire base and like, you get a couple more guys. Why? You going up to Fashion Square? Like, damn it, Sarge. Fashion Square? Like, yeah, man. You relieve the dudes, the other movie theater people that coming out there, their uniforms all tore up. One of them got a bandolier like M&M's on him. He handing them to you. He's like, hey, you going to need this player.
Hey,
Heads up, man. They come every night. You know,
they're wearing those popcorn buckets as like helmets with the peace signs on the top of it.
Yeah, he got Ace of Spades in it. He like, come on, Magic.
Let's sunblock on one side. Yeah.
I was at the VA with one of them. One of them got 90% disability, bro.
Yeah.
They fighting hard up in there, man.
He got a necklace of ears.
Jeff, what's your next movie?
How to Train Your Dragon is in June, and then in July we have Superman.
Oh, cool. That's dope, man. So we'll make sure we start plugging, promoting that, so you guys get your free tickets, man. Jeff, what's the most you've ever taken?
I think we got around 1,000 one time, because a lot of people don't show up, and then they get put on the list. They get put on the list because some of these people call and they want like 8 tickets, and we make exceptions because I know it's tough for families. And I'm always the one greeting everybody when they leave, and when 900 people come by you, you're just going, that's a lot of people, because nobody's in that theater normally. That theater is like dead, and I think we've kept that mall open.
900 people in that mall all week.
Yeah.
Fashion Square Mall is going to be the world's biggest Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah. I think this will be condos. I think they're going to go condos and other stuff, because it's, that's where all the good property is, so I think they're going to turn it into condominiums and have it like, like Baldwin Park, how they have all those little stores, but people are going to live in the top, but then the movie theater will get big again because everybody is visiting. So
well, before they go to tear it down and make it condos, me and the rest of the breakdance kids at the rec center are going to save it. Yeah, they're tearing down the mall to make condos. Come on, Galaxy and
Electric Boogaloo 12.
Yeah. We challenge you, contracting company, to a break off. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Ozone comes out. We're like, what are you doing here? He's like, I went corporate. I work for the big condo company now.
You got to challenge Ozone?
Yeah. And at the end, he switches allegiances when me and him are in the middle of it. I'm like, why are you doing this, Ozone? And he's like, one day you going to have a family too. And I'm like, breaking is my family. And then he realizes.
Yo, you thought a whole movie out there.
Yes.
Wow, bro. Oh, man. You guys performed this weekend?
Nah, man. No, I did not. I had a long weekend of work, but no performances. How about you, Kaufman? You performed this weekend?
I actually had a good time, man. Thursday was the event. Friday had another big thing, and then Saturday I went to go see TJ Miller at the Improv, and That was good, man. I know you guys aren't big on that, but I like seeing a comedian I haven't seen before that I hear about, and I walk out there and I watch it. I'm going, that's an interesting style.
Jeff,
And
we
sometimes you,
tried to,
yeah,
but the
I
minute
know
we
you
get
get
to the
bored.
improv, we end up at the bar hanging
Yeah.
out, just talking. And then so many times I've gone and been invited by somebody I love, and I'm like, he's gonna be there, and the dude will be like, yo, you gotta come out, check me out. I'm like, I'm there, and we get to the show, and I'm having a blast. And then 15 minutes into it, Ken's like, hey, you want to get a crown? And then 45 minutes
Ken
later, we're
goes to his
running back
locker.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running back into the end so the dude can see us. I'm waving. Stay for the whole show. I was here for the whole show, I swear.
Yeah. Ken got a locker at this place, but it's in the bathroom where half of it's toilet paper and then there's the crown below it. You know.
Ken, your
Yeah,
mic's
Ken on
off
that Cricket
right now.
wireless again. Look at Ken. Man,
Ken, if
you
you guys
never
don't
think
know,
call your IT guy.
Ken's mic is Ken's mic now. If he moves it, if he moves it an inch, it shuts off volume. I just see your lips move, baby, but I'm not hearing words.
Do I have to order you another cable? God bless.
I'll fill in for
See-
Ken right now since we can't hear him. Back at Fort Huachuca, when I got no volume from you, Ken. That's the man.
Oh, we
That's
know
the
he
man
doesn't have
putting Ken
volume.
out.
I want you to know something. Last time this happened to him, he left me with Chris, which means basically I was doing a monologue for 10 minutes.
We just recently had the two girls from the Pillow Fort podcast on, and we have already decided that Rue and Annie Licours are our go-to replacements anytime we're going to do another podcast. Because usually when you've got to coach, you got to coach the people who are coming on the show, how they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. And we've had some horror stories. People have come on to help out with us. People that we know are funny, and they
don't know.
can't. Yeah, they can't. They'll hop on, and next thing you know, they'll say like one or two words. They give one answer. Ken, we're talking about people coming on the show giving us like one word answers. Ken, you still out, baby? You still out? The man has silenced Ken.
And the worst part about this is Ken's other job is basically tech support. So Ken's the one you call when your microphone don't work.
That's his Monday through Friday job. When he's recording on the weekend, it's out. Now,
he becomes a 7-year-old grandmother. That's what happens.
I will ask you this, Kaufman. When you do these big movie times and you do bring like 1,000 people, how often are you seeing like the same families and like getting to know some of these people more and more? Half of them?
And you know what? I asked the question. I didn't ask this one before, but I walked into like the 4th theater and I said, well, I'm here. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you guys have been to our movies before? And I always ask that one. I said, how many have been to more than 5? More than 10? More than 15? More than 40? And somebody said, I've been to every movie you've put on. So it's about 45, 50. And I was like, oh, man. And for some, that's their date night. That's the only time they get out. And that's for me, that's just, it's like, wow, man. And somebody said to me, they were asking me about, the stuff we used to do. They go, well, so you don't like sponsor just like a one night and do it for charity? And I said, no, I'm paying for everyone to go. That's the whole concept. Yeah. I want everyone who shows up not to have to pay anything because that's my gift to them directly. I donate to charity all the time. I don't need to have a charity event to donate money. We don't autism awareness. I take these kids out all the time. We have a lot of charities we donate directly to. So when I do an event, I'm not going to put my face all over a charity for, let's say, a diabetes or something, and make people pay to go. So, yeah, I think it's just a different thing. And I feel better about taking care of people because, like I said, a lot of these people don't have lives outside. They don't have any money to go to a movie. Movies are expensive.
Well, guys, we'll be right back with more Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. The Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap for comedy. I am your host for the evening, Miguel Colon Jr., joined in studio with Jeff Batman Kaufman. And Jeff was just telling me under the break that he did a great time at the TJ Miller show over at the Funny Bone over at the Improv. But you were saying that the audience was getting a little wild.
Man, they won't shut up. Oh, man, there's this woman in the front row who was just drunk and would not shut up no matter what they did. And they almost booted her like 4 times. Then there's another girl in the back yelling and doing this stuff. And here's the problem. When you pay to see like a guy like TJ, he's not a local guy. He's like a celebrity. And people are excited to see his routine. So when you think you're part of the show, sooner or later, there's going to be a brawl that's going to break out. Somebody's going to fight. And like I had a show where somebody actually told somebody to be quiet and a brawl broke out. So, people just shut up. It ain't your show.
What's like, let me ask you this. This is like a weird legal question.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Kevin Miller's back in the studio. We
You
were just
good?
talking. Good to go, sir. We were just talking about.
I think the issue is I'm gonna have to buy a new cable. If I touch this cable, it goes out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support Real Laughs and send some cables, some internets, some dial-up cards, whatever you got, man, we'll
Start the show already?
Yeah, we're on already.
Yeah.
We're talking about a show that happened
at what
at
time
the
did you
Improv.
start?
We lost you
16:30.
again.
All right, Ken, do me a favor. Send me a hyperlink of the cable and Amazon, and I'll send you one out.
Can you hear me?
Have it by tomorrow.
You still can't hear me.
Yes.
I can hear you now.
Yeah,
I
you
can
can.
now,
I can
yes,
buy,
yes.
Yeah, I could buy it myself. I'm good.
Well, it could get to your house, and you can know tomorrow you could do the show.
No, I got it. I'm good. I buy my
Okay.
own
All
cable.
right.
Hey, Ken, get your broke ass to take one of these
I
cables
know.
from Jeff.
I'm good. I got it, man. I got
I know you
Amazon.
got
He act like I ain't got, like he don't want to got Amazon.
Hey,
Like,
man,
what
don't
you
be
talking about?
proud.
I love
Don't
Ken
be
doesn't
proud,
look down and go,
okay?
and ain't looking at the mic that I bought him the first time.
Don't be proud.
And second of all,
Don't be proud.
I ain't asked for the mic. You sent them.
Because we needed the good mic because you were using one of these headsets from like AT&T from like fourth.
Listen,
No. We was using them. Don't act like I was the only one using the headset.
Oh, they were terrible. Those
Hey,
mics
look
were
behind
horrible,
Jeff
man.
Kaufman. You see all them toys?
Yeah.
You think I built this empire? All right.
I built this empire on headsets
Listen,
you buy at
James
Radio
knows.
Shack.
James knows. James be like, Daddy, I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
You so funny, Jeff. Daddy.
What was you talking about, my man?
Jeff went to a show at the or the Funny Bone. Excuse me. It's taking me a while to remember. It's at the Funny Bone, and that the audience got a little rowdy, and then he was talking about brawl could break up, and I was wondering, as a venue, if a brawl breaks up and the show gets canceled, are you now responsible for all those people who lost tickets to the show?
Oh,
you know, like, but
well,
is,
it depends. It depends. If it was something within their control, for example, let's say they had no security. Let's say they knew this could happen and they weren't prepared for a fight, or they didn't have proper security to get people in and out of there. I mean, anytime you have alcohol and over 100 to 200 people, you open yourself up to that problem.
Alcohol. That's the key word, bro.
It's always drunk, and I don't want to be racist, but it's always white women.
100%.
Always big white women.
Now we talking comedy. I ain't talking other venues, but we talking comedy. 90% of the hecklers I've ever have been drunk white women. Matter of fact, I was at Why Not Lounge last night. Carmen Valone was headlining, and it was a lady up front, and she just yelled the whole show. And that club doesn't have security. So
that's a
who's
mistake.
gonna throw her out?
I would come to
the sad thing is the waiters have to come and tell them. The waiters have to give them the heads up.
They don't want to do that because they don't want to mess up their money. So
guys, if you listening right now and you want to do freelance security, you just show up to comedy clubs, be like, hey man, $20 a person, I kick anybody out. Don't matter if they broke a rule or not. You just put that 20 in the air, you like, hey Steven, what's up, player? The dude in the white shirt, what'd he do? I just ain't feeling that shirt, of course, sir.
I'm gonna tell you whose fault it is normally. It's normally the host. The host, the minute somebody starts talking and the host goes back and forth with that person, then they've let them know, hey, this is okay.
And that's because they use a lot of weak hosts, because around here, one of the formats that we do, which I disagree with, is they tried to put the host to be the newest comic to get them experience, which I understand, but it's such a technically important job. I'd much rather my feature be inexperienced doing 15 minutes and my host being somebody that could carry the whole show if there's any instances.
And I agree. I told the host last night, I said, hey, my man, it's your job to do crowd control. I said, you be the one like, hey, you got to go. The headline, it shouldn't get to the headliner and you finally decide, all right, you got to go. I said, it's got to be you. Yeah. And once again, like you said, Miguel, he a young kid, so he like, well, I mean, they'll just no, dog. You gotta have some balls and throw. I don't care. I throw you.
People are mad now. I've been to a bunch of shows. I'd say my last 4 shows. Audience gets mad. Yeah.
I agree with you, man. The host got to be the one, bro.
Or if you can't have freelance security, bring your most supportive homeboy who's got problems at home. You know, and he's like, man, I love you, Ken, man. I love you, Jeff, man. Y'all the only one get me out of this house. Thank you, thank you. Because the minute somebody interrupts the show when your supportive homeboy who never leaves the house goes on, he's ready to wild out because he never leaves the house. He never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
So
I kind of think we should get one of those megaphones with that song. And anytime somebody opens up, you should be able to pull that out and just give them like the horn.
And throw them up out, bro. It don't bother me, man. Because I think people they want that you to go back and forth. They love that.
Yeah.
I'd rather throw you out, bro. The biggest brawl I seen, man. I was at the Funny Bone, bro, and it was 25 people, a full on fight, bro. And the headliner didn't even know. The headliner didn't even know the brawl was going on. They got the people out, and then in the hallway, full on battle royal, bro. Jeez. They were throwing people over the ropes and everything.
And they all said they probably thought they had a great time that night. Oh, bro, it was so good.
Hey, Jeff, they weren't even from here. They were in town for a Super Bowl party, and they decided to go to the Improv the night before the Super Bowl party, and they were all drunk. I said, so let's just say we called the cops, and the cops came, and all y'all went to jail.
Yeah.
Out of town. You ain't even in your home. You're out of town because you want
and you gonna miss the Super Bowl.
If they can't get bail by morning, it could be bad. Yeah.
And it's Sunday. You ain't getting no judge on Sunday.
Think about this too. You locked up in jail at the Super Bowl, and there's one dude the whole time, and he's holding like a radio to his ear, and he's like, okay. Falcons got the ball right now. You're like, okay, cool. He's like, oh, they threw an interception. You're like, cool. And then somebody's like, hey, man, he ain't listening to the radio. That's Crazy Teddy. That's a bar of soap. He don't know what's going on. He there for 45 minutes. He's like, he not lying.
He's listening to soccer. What are you talking about?
Hey, the Falcons ain't been in the Super Bowl in 5 years.
Yeah.
They doing the Dirty Bird. What?
They doing it. This is a good one. This is good. Teddy, put the soap down. I'll behave. You know?
Oh, that is hilarious, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm with you, Miguel. I really feel like the host needs, and that was the 70s and 80s. The host was always the most experienced person in the show. Always.
You know what they do now with that? They have a taped version at the Funny Bone now that gives the rules out. So the host isn't the one who says the rules anymore. It's like a tape of how to act. Yeah. And then the host just gets on and does his thing.
I don't want to talk about that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be me, bro.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be me.
Supposed to be Ken Miller.
I didn't want to drive to Tampa. The dude wanted me to drive to Tampa to record it. And I was like, I'm not driving all the way up to Tampa to record. I can record it at our Funny Bone and just send it to you. He's like, all right, don't worry about it. I'll take about it. I got you. And then Sloan ended up doing it. But also, too, if you notice, the dude says it on the video. The dude announcing the host says it.
Yeah.
As well. When I come up, if I'm hosting, I say, hey, let's go over the rules again real quick. Keep your table talk to a minimum. Cell phones on vibrator silent. No flash photography. I said, this right here is your warning. I said, we already got your credit card. We'll kick your ass out. I'll go buy an 85-inch TV with your credit card. 100%. Everybody laugh. We get on with the show.
This woman brought this dude with him and kept saying, we having a one-night stand tonight. And then kept threatening to fondle the host or whoever was on stage. And the dude who brought her left. So she's just drunk in that front seat now, just leaning over like this. And she falls asleep and she's got this Indiana Jones hat on. It was crazy.
Here's something a lot of people don't know. And I'm not here to pretend like I'm this man is a victim vibe or something like that. But when it comes to being yelled at in sexually demeaning ways, on stage, I don't think female comedians have to deal with as much as male when it comes to that, because women audience members who are drunk think that they could just say or do whatever. Like when it comes to picture taking, and this is the thing, I'm not taking away from all the crap women have to deal with, because I like I say, I walk down an alley, my only fear is getting robbed. I don't ever think that I'm gonna get raped. I don't ever think that I'm gonna get raped just walking to my car, you know. So I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, in one instance, when it comes to taking pictures after a show, I don't know if as many female comics has had to deal with what a lot of male comics deal with, but old ladies just think that they can touch you.
Oh,
old ladies think that they could. They'll try to kick, and it's not like it's not like it's the kind of ladies that you'd ever be like, yo, man, I can't believe she did that, but player, wow. It's like, you get your goddamn tongue out of my ear.
It's not a cougar, it's an Uger.
Yeah, you're like this old lady, and it's weird. I'm not saying this like I think every male comedian will tell you. So a group of old ladies, they'll just come up and just sexually harass you
Oh,
after
for
a
real.
picture.
Oh, for real.
And big
Oh,
sexy James John is normally the
Oh,
target.
I've
They see
watched
him,
James Young.
he like a big.
I've
hey,
watched
man.
James Young get straight up molested, and all I've done is been like, "Don't fight him, James, or it'll be worse." Like
James, to tell you, bro, my favorite James story ever when Bonkers was downtown at Mojo's, and was it Mojo's at the time? What was it called? Might have been called Mojo's. You remember it's the old improv.
Yeah. Mojo, it was
And
Mojo's. Yeah,
James used to take the picture with his shirt with the bra on.
yeah,
And the lady came out there and put her leg up on James' stomach. I
yeah.
said, bitch, if you don't put your leg down, you about to get your man. I don't know where the dust came from. Michelle popped up out of there like Stone Cold, bro.
Bro.
Hey,
Like the Roadrunner. Maybe.
you're right. I have seen James get touched a little bit, bro.
I've watched James get to the point where I'm like, I'm so sorry, but it's like I can't fight that gaggle of old ladies. I seen him just grab some of his breast meat and just be like, "Hey," and I'm like, "What the hell?" They just grab a whole breast meat like it's a cat's deli sandwich, and they're like, "Ah!" That's why he brings Michelle because Michelle's
It's funny because it ain't me.
Nah,
That's why it's funny. It ain't funny if it'd be me. I'll be honest with you. I pull up my bar card. Hey.
Yeah, it's always the alcohol. But to get back to the question, I feel like Jeff said, if they don't have adequate security or whatever, but I just know if the headliner's on stage 5-10 minutes in and a full brawl breaks out, no matter who's responsible, everybody in there gonna want their money back.
Yeah.
I don't care if it breaks out with 5 minutes left in the show.
Even when those tickets are free, they want their money back.
That's why Bonkers gives out free tickets. They're like,
hey,
this one might be wild. This bar is literally called the Brass Knuckle, located in a city outside of Daytona called Fightsville. You know,
right next to Bucky's.
Yeah. It's at a bail bondsman's office. He said, "I can't wait."
Yeah, so I'm with you. The venue, I know the venue is going to get some blame. Oh, it is. They're going to get people going to want their money back. Yeah. People going to want more free. Most of them ain't going to want their money back. They going to want a free ticket to a whole nother show.
Yep.
They're going to be like, well, we want to see Sir Underwood next week.
Yeah.
Dude, I was actually talking about when we get back from the break. I want to talk about an event Miguel and I did a couple months ago because it came back to me last night during the show.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll pop on to commercial break real quick. We'll be right back. Real Last, Real Radio 104.1. We're back. Real Last, Real Radio 104.1. Your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. Man, make sure y'all go out and follow us on social media. And also make sure you go to YouTube, like and subscribe, and continue listening. Shout out to my coworker, Shannon. She told me that her boyfriend listens to the show. She was sitting there and he was listening to the show at the house. And she was like, I know that voice. And he was like, yeah, that's Ken Miller. She's like, I work with that dude. He was like, no, you don't. like I ain't got no regular job. But shout out.
She didn't recognize you without the binoculars.
Yeah, right. So I didn't get my peak on, bro. Well, we appreciate y'all listening. Join the virtual studio with Miguel Colon Jr. and from the law offices of Kaufman and Lynn and the Under Oath podcast, Mr. Jeff Batman Kaufman, taking y'all asses to the movies since 2019. So
since before COVID. Since before COVID.
Hey man, so Jeff, you said you had something you want to talk about.
BC before COVID. Okay. Yeah, I was weird. Somebody was telling me, they go, my dad saw you perform at the Theater West End. And I was laughing because that was the same night that Miguel did a guest spot. And he came in and this couple was so mad that they stormed out and you could hear them yelling in the lobby. I drove 6 hours for this. And the routine Miguel did was so great. I was laughing my ass off, but I could, some people are overly sensitive. And she goes, yeah, my dad told me about these people were yelling at him for like 20 minutes. And I could hear them when I was hosting that night to get on. I could hear them still yelling in the lobby. So we were laughing our ass off. So Miguel did a guest spot.
You offended somebody?
Yeah, I guess so, man. I mean, I wasn't going hard on anything. They just wasn't feeling it. And they just made a big scene. When they were leaving, I don't say, this is something I don't do, guys. if you walk out during my show, I don't address it because you're doing exactly
Nah.
what you're supposed to do. You're not feeling it, so you leave. Like I've seen comics start talking trash to people who are leaving, and I'm like, you an a-hole. They're not feeling it. They're choosing to leave. They chose to come. They didn't like it, so they're choosing to just gracefully leave. So I said nothing to them. I saw him get up. I saw the lady like shaking her head like she wasn't feeling it. And I'm like, I'm not going to address this. This is everybody's following the rules right now. But then they got to the lobby and they started getting all loud with the lobby people. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to address that either because lobby people got it. But yeah, I tell you this though, man. When I see people get up to leave a show and I watch comics address them and go after them, I'm like, you full of yourself, man.
No,
You're full
I
of
don't do it.
yourself. Yeah, I'm like, you just let them be. They're not feeling
Or when
it.
you go to the bathroom, when
That's
somebody
it.
leaves to go to the bathroom, somebody has to tell them.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you going? And I'm like, going, you gotta go to the bathroom. Trust me, they ain't walking out.
You want him to dookie himself, or you want him to watch this show? Because if somebody dookied themselves there, you'd be like, ew, this dude dookied himself. Yeah, man. We'll give him some options here.
Hey, I had the issue where I had to address one time and just once. And that's because the dude wouldn't stop talking. So when I finally kicked him out and he was leaving and he said, you ain't said nothing funny anyway. And I'm like, well, I don't think that's true because everybody in here dying.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? So everybody having a good time but you. Now, he was 10 beers in. That club shouldn't have been kept feeding him liquor. But he was 10 beers in. And so when I kicked him out, he got a standing ovation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people gave an ovation. They was happy for him to leave. But then I had Chris go stand by the door just in case Buddy came back in and was going to try to lump me up. You know what I mean? But I'm with you.
I don't acknowledge it.
Either.
Yeah. The only time I ever acknowledged it was we used to, the Twisted Birch. The bathroom was right next to the stage.
Oh, yeah.
So when somebody had to go to the bathroom, they had to walk right by you to go, and you could hear the flush during.
Yeah, that was
great.
They had to walk right past you while you're doing your set to go to the bathroom.
One time, this dude went into the bathroom, and he was in there for. I mean, I've been up there for like 10 minutes, and I had to too. I was like, "Hey, goddamn, one of his friends here?" I was like, "What's going on, man?" They were just laughing. I was like, "Is this usual?" And then the one guys, he be taking them slow dookies. I was like, okay. I just want to make sure he's not dead in there.
Yo, because you gotta know that somebody noticed you walking in the bathroom, especially you walk past everybody. You gone 10 minutes, like, come on, bro.
And then he was.
That's a new version of the walk of shame. Yeah,
I made a whole joke about it, and I started singing Juvenile slow motion. I said, slow dookie for me, slow dookie for me. I said, I'm taking the crap, I'm working it back, slow dookie for me, slow dookie for me. We were all laughing, singing it. Well, then like 5 minutes later, the dude comes out the bathroom, and everybody just starts laughing, and I'm like, I'm taking the crap, and the whole audience starts singing with it, and the dude doesn't know it's about him, so he's just got a big smile on his face, like, hey man, this show lit. You know? His friends are dying clapping, and he's just got this big dumb smile, like, man, what a night, huh?
Yeah, he had to go see this little dookie butt back down.
Yeah. Like he was in about 15, 16 minutes, a little just, and too, man, it was one of those where it's like in the middle of it, he stopped. He's like, he's like talking to the corner man. They're like, you gotta keep working it, kid. You're pumping too much. You're too loose in it.
Cut me, Mick.
Yeah.
Dog, I did one where the stage was the floor of the restaurant and they had a carpet. And the wait staff would walk past you with the entrees.
Right as you were on stage?
Right. It wasn't a stage, it was just the floor of the restaurant. So they would just walk past you on the carpet with the food on the tray as I'm trying to do jokes and stuff. One time I just snatched a French fry. Yeah, Miguel, give me what's the stage you've been on? He was like, okay, this is a terrible stage. Show was good, but the stage was, you were like, yo, this is a terrible stage.
Marley Starr had this hookah lounge. I hate hookah lounge.
I know that.
To this day, man, hookah lounge. Only hookah lounge I give credit to is Kevin Dean had a hookah lounge that was a good time. Kevin Dean had one that was a good time. I had fun. But a hookah lounge show, I'm past that in my career to this point where I won't. If you tell me it's a hookah lounge, if I Google it's a hookah lounge, I'm out. But Marley Starr had a hookah lounge that I did, and the stage was basically, honest to God, guys, it was this big couch. I said, "What is this?" He's like, "Yeah, just stand up on the couch." I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We pushed the couch up to the wall. You just stand up there.
Nope.
That's where you're elevated." And I had to do a set standing up on a big ass couch, pushed up against a wall. And I was like, man,
How sturdy was this? The cushions.
just like you think. Just like you think. Like I got up on it. It was pushed up against the wall. So it was, sturdy, but the cushions were soft. And then I did get my foot caught in the crease at one point. But this is like when I was doing 10 minutes. It was a guest spot.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the headliner was, but they weren't happy with this either. But it was
Could
a
you imagine being
couch.
the headliner? Where am I performing? On
Mhm.
top of the couch.
I forgot who the headliner was, but they laid on the couch. They laid on it, holding the mic, talking up. That was before I knew how to be cool on the mic. I was like, damn, I should have just done that. But he had it up against the wall. And I was like, I'm getting $15 for this. This ain't worth it. And then I got on stage and I was like, comedy. But yeah, man, I've had a bunch because I've performed at horrible places, guys. I've performed at great places. I've performed at premier nightclubs in this country. I performed at colleges. I performed for thousands of people. I've had it good on good days. But in the beginning, on the bad days, man, you don't know how many pallets I stood on.
Bro, I was about to say a pallet with a carpet on top of it.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a one worse than that one. You know the what? Can I say it?
Which one? Yeah, of course.
You went. Hold on. I'm ask Ken first. When I went to you saw me perform. All the TVs turned on during the middle of my show. Can I say that place or not?
Say any place you want, man.
Okay.
As long as it's real.
All right. There's a place on International.
I'll tell you, I'm a licensed legal comedy expert.
There's a place on International, and they used to make us perform in the back room. And there was a front where the band would play. Then they had this back room with a bunch of TVs. And the stage was I think it was 12 feet high or something. And the first set of tables were maybe 20 feet away from the stage. And you and James went to see me, Ken. And during my set, yeah.
Oh yeah, Tin Roof was a bad one, bro. Yeah.
Tin Roof, but that stage reminded me of being out at Homosassa. 20 feet high, 20 feet tables away.
Hey, Jeff, did you ever do Homosassa?
He wasn't around for that, man.
So Homosassa, the crowd is facing that way, facing forward, but the stage is in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the one who made us? Remember what was her name? Who's the girl out there when we had the tomahawk steaks?
Chrissy B.
Yeah, Chris. She set us on lights one time, and there were 3 lights, and they pushed from the bottom, and they made us all look like Vincent Price in Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the video afterwards. It was a weird lit night, and somebody took pictures, and we all looked like we were doing the Thriller video because the lights were lit funny from the ground. And
I like when somebody puts together a comedy room back in the day when you needed money. Back when you needed money and you didn't care, you didn't ask any questions. They were like, "Hey, $250, you want to come perform?" I was like, "Do I?" And then I would get there and be like, "So the comedy club's in the back of the tackle shop?" They're like, "No." So it's outside in front of the tackle shop? No, it's the tackle shop. And you're like, "But the tackle shop's going to be closed. Why do comedy?" No, these are our busiest hours. We're going to be selling worms. And you're like, "God damn
it." I tell you, I used to have to sign comic books. Yeah, I used to tour all over the country signing my monthly books. And I went to Canada, and there's this place right outside of Toronto. And they stick me at this table, and they go, "Well, we'll put all your books at the front. And when somebody wants to sign it, we'll just bring it to you to sign, and we'll bring it back to them." I said, "Well, why don't I sign it for the guy there?" They go, "Oh, our people are skittish. They want you to sign it, but they don't want to come up to you." So I'm sitting at the back of the store, and about every 2 minutes, somebody would bring a book for me to sign who worked there. And then they hand it to the guy at the cash register because he was, I don't know, maybe it's a Canadian thing, but it was weird.
Yeah, man. Now I've had some places they didn't even have a stage. Just I think one of my worst ones, I did a fair. I did a festival up in Tampa, not the Strawberry Festival, but something like that. And I'm on a big stage where the band is playing. The closest person to me is 150 feet away. They're maybe not 150 feet, maybe 50 yards away from me. And it's me and two other comedians, and I'm talking about I can't even see the person to the point where I said, "Give me a wireless mic." I said, "How far does it go?" And they say, "Mommy, about 25 yards." I says, "Bet." I just jump out in the audience and I just walk around this whole audience doing my set. And it does good. I go back, and the next comedian comes on, and he's doing his set from the stage. And at that point, nobody's paying attention. So I told the dude, I said, "Who booked this?" But it was the money. It was like it was a $500 gig, 15 to 20 minutes,
Hmm.
and comedians will do anything for the money.
Yeah.
They do. I said, "Bro, you really thought this was a good idea?" Like comedians would do anything for money, bro.
Is
Anything.
that Strawberry Festival? Have you ever seen that Strawberry Festival where they have this like big fake strawberry, and my Jacob used to always take a picture in the strawberry, and I looked over, I said, and I remember telling his mother, I said, you know, this strawberry looks just like a weird big vagina. And it was there for like 10 years. And I don't know if they still shoot in it, but it is the weirdest pictures when you see it. You're going, is this supposed to be a strawberry?
That's a Rorschach test, bro. I looked at it. It
Yeah.
was just, it didn't look like a vagina. It looked like my father hitting me, telling me I was going to be a failure. But we all see different things.
That's funny, man. Well, we got to get up out of here, man. We got about a minute left. Miguel, where you gonna be at this weekend?
This weekend I'm chill, man. I'm not going to be anywhere till the middle of the month. So if there's some good shows coming up, kid, you want to go somewhere, let me know. I'd love. Oh wait, guys, it's Mother's Day this weekend.
Oh
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Mother's Day this Sunday, man. So I'm actually going to be spending time with my mom, and we got tickets for her to go see The Lion King over at the Dr. Phillips Center. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend.
Okay, dope, dope. Jeff, what you got this weekend? What you got going on with the podcast?
I got let's see who we got. Who we got. I think we have David Blaine on this week. So
Nice.
I think we have him scheduled. He's cool. And I got Jacob all weekend because for Mother's Day, I take him for the weekend so that, you know, she can find peace. You know,
That's
Jacob
cool.
will wear you out. So
Yeah.
I got Jacob for Saturday and Sunday. So I'm looking forward, just Jakey boy and I hanging out by the pool, not doing too much.
Well, I got a Mother's Day show this Sunday, somewhere down south. I ain't got the details for it because I'm terrible at promoting. So just, this weekend, I am doing a Mother's Day comedy show somewhere down south. Oh, here we go, got it. The Mayhem Comedy Show. It is May 11th, Sebring, Florida, 202 Circle Park. A Mother's Day event. Show is at 6 p.m. Benefiting Healthy Start program. It's me and like 5 other comedians. So if you're in the Sebring area, bring your ass out and come see Ken Miller. Well, we got to get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Ken Miller. That's Jeff Coffin and Miguel Colon Jr. Miguel, do me a favor. Tell them what to do.
Take your ass to bed.
Good night.